Now we're ready for step 3. We are going to be making sure that our checkboxes and form fields are aligned and organized where we want them. So if you have a lot of checkboxes, this is page 1. What I want to do is go ahead and place a check mark in these fields so that I can better see where I'm placing the items. Once you have those placed, you can see they're all kind of out of whack and not in line and all over the place. So we're going to go to Tools, under Content, select Object, and this will make it where we can grab the fields with the Select Object tool and move them around. If you hold down Control on your keyboard and use the roller ball on your mouse, you can zoom in as far as you want to get a better idea of where you're placing each field. So for each one of these, I'm just going to drag and drop it about where I want. I want kind of the same distance in between, just so it looks nice and tidy. So that's about where I want the checkbox to be. I don't have to worry about making sure they're perfectly even on each side for all of them because we'll do that in a minute. So I'm just going to kind of drag these about where I want it. You can see I'm zoomed really far in so that I can get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay. All right. And to zoom back out, do the same thing. Hold Control, use the roller ball, and zoom. If I use the hand tool, I can go back to the original view to see where the check boxes are. So now I want to align them and make sure they're all perfectly on the same level. So I'll go back to Select Object, highlight all of the checkboxes, and choose the one that you think was probably the closest aligned to the left of where you want it. Right-click on that box with all the other ones also highlighted, go to Align, and then Align Left. And what that does is it puts all of them in an even row aligned to the left, so they're all in a straight line. You can go ahead and uncheck them once you know that they are placed where you want them. And again, just save periodically in case Adobe crashes and you lose your progress. The same thing can be done for your text fields. I'm going to go back to Select Object, and I'm going to zoom really far in so that I can align this box with the edge of the line where I want it, and just leave a little bit of space above the line if there's room. If it's a really cramped application, you may have to do this kind of in line with the line that's already there, just a little bit below it, but there's plenty of room on this one, so I'm just going to put it above the line. Zoom back out. Use these little boxes to make the area bigger. It doesn't necessarily have to be bigger. Somebody's name is probably not that long, but this just makes the document look more organized and neat. That box keeps popping up over to the right because my mouse thinks I'm double clicking, which I'm not. So I keep closing it. All right. So going to the page that had the 3 names on it. These are all different levels. You can see this one's lower, this one's higher. So I'm going to zoom really far in on this one. Again, just lining the box up where I want it to fall on the line. Just want to set it a little bit above. And now you don't even really have to move these boxes at all unless you want to move them to the left or the right, because you can select all Right-click on this one that you've set exactly where you want it, align bottom. So now you can see the boxes are in a perfect line across. And again, just save. So let's assume we've mapped the entire document and we're ready to start finalizing it. All of our checkboxes are exactly where we want them. All of our text boxes are exactly where we want them, and everything looks perfect with each field. Now you're going to run your final tab order check. So back under Tools, go to Edit, Tools, Forms, Edit, and you can see, again, here are all of the form fields that you've added. I want to do a hard reset and do alpha order. This won't mess anything up. It just kind of grabs all of the fields to make sure that I know exactly what I'm moving. After we do sort by alpha, sort by tab order. Again, go back to tab order and make sure it says order tabs by row. Close. And if any changes had been made, you would click Save. So now that you have set your final tab order, you want to check your FS fields and make sure that there aren't any accidental duplicates. So you would again go back to Tools, Forms, Edit, and you can tell that it's a duplicate field when there are number signs in front of the numbers. These are just copied and pasted fields from when we first put them on the form. They haven't been renamed. And what happens if you have a duplicate field is if you put a checkbox in one, it'll also put a checkbox in the other. So let's say both of these were named FS1. You can see this is the original FS, this is the first duplicate, second duplicate. So if I put a check mark here, because the form is a duplicate, it puts a check mark in the other forms as well, which we don't want. So back to edit. There are usually a couple of pages that get added to applications beforehand, so I don't like to start my FS fields at 1. I usually start them around 200. That way, if FS fields need to be added later, I don't have to worry about renumbering the entire document. I have given myself a little bit of slack. When I go from page to page, I still like to skip a few numbers, just in case, again, more form fields need to be added. So I'll go from 205 to 215. I won't skip a whole lot of numbers, but enough that if I have to add more form fields, I can without having to redo the entire document packet. For these, it's okay if they're duplicates because obviously their name is going to be the same in each one of these fields. And if for some reason you need to change their name in one of them, you don't have to worry about finding all of them. It'll change across the board because these fields are duplicated. So we've got our FS fields in order. We've given ourselves a little bit of space. And we've lined everything up where we want it. So we can now close the form field, save. And I like to run one last check of tags while we're here, just to make sure that while I was processing and adding things, nothing got added that I don't want. So again, go to Tools, Protection, Remove Hidden Information. It's not often that information gets added again after you've removed it the first time, but as you can see, some things have been. So it's done checking all the pages. We're going to remove, click OK, and wait for it to go through each field, each page, and remove the hidden information. and it looks like it's done. So I'm just going to save it. It'll ask you to save it as a new document, so I'm going to just rename it so I know what the latest version is. And you're done. You've prepped the document, you've added fields, and you have aligned them so that they are organized and in a row and look very neat and professional. And that is it for this video.